Sleep is mysterious, and scientists still don't fully understand why we need to enter these different stages, especially REM sleep. But what we do know is if you are not sleeping, you're not healing, period. So if you want to be productive in the mornings, stay healthy, remain focused throughout the day, you have to get a great night's sleep. But here's the problem. Over 30% of us are sleep deprived, are battling through each day in a mental fog, and the consequences of poor sleep, well, they're serious. Obesity, depression, disease, and a total lack of resistance to infection. Our mind and our body need to go through these different stages of sleep. And interestingly, scientists don't really know why. So to prevent getting sick, we all have to basically go into this mysterious unconscious state called sleep for a minimum of around 7 hours every day. I remember when I did my science degree asking the professor, why do we need to enter REM sleep? And in REM, rapid eye movement, we are in such a deep sleep. Our body is completely paralyzed, but our brain is way more active than it is in our waking state as we experience this crazy world of dreams. Some spiritual gurus, they believe we reconnect to source, to infinite consciousness. We return to the divine matrix from which we came. And of course, there are religions that believe our soul leaves our body and returns to God. And in the Aboriginal culture, they believe that sleep is essential for connecting with ancestral spirits, and dreaming during REM is the opportunity for guidance and learning. The facts are, if you are deprived of sleep, even for one night, the integrity of your immune system is dramatically reduced. Scary scientific studies show that cancer cells thrive in a sleep-deprived body, but at the very least, you're less focused, you're less alert, probably a little bit emotionally unstable, and not very productive. Look, if I miss my 7 hours of sleep, I'm just straight out grumpy. But then we have someone like President Donald Trump. He sleeps only 4 to 5 hours a night, and he's supposedly been doing that for decades. Now, that kind of defies, well, all of the science data. So if you need to improve your sleep, it's important to understand what you need to do to ensure the chemicals responsible for sleep are being abundantly produced in your brain at the right times. So number one, there is an essential sleep chemical called adenosine. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, go outside. It's stimulated by sunlight. It's a tiny area in your brain which starts producing adenosine and accumulates all day long. And when enough of this sleep chemical is built up, you'll get all of the tired signals that you need for a good night's sleep. The most essential thing here to remember is that real sunlight stimulates adenosine production. So you've got to get outside in natural light in the morning as soon as possible. And not through the window, I mean outside in fresh air and daylight, even if it's cloudy and raining. Get outside. One more thing about the sleep chemical adenosine. If you drink coffee in the afternoon or worse, in the evening, the caffeine in the coffee will block the effect of adenosine. And as a result, it could really affect the quality of your sleep. So enjoy your early morning coffee with a tablespoon of MCT oil, which is an amazing way to sustain energy through the morning. And when you go to bed, adenosine that is built up all day long, as you start to move into sleep, it starts to decrease. You're using it all up. And by morning, the sleep chemical adenosine, it's pretty much all been depleted. And as the sun rises, your adrenal glands sat above your kidneys, they are kicked into action and start sending out cortisol, the wake up now chemical most of us, well, we try to ignore. especially at the weekends. So opposite to adenosine decreasing through the night, cortisol starts to build up during the night, ready to be released in the morning to get you up and moving. So then as cortisol is being used up during the day, adenosine stores are being built up again during the day, ready to be released at night. And this is all under the control of that magnificent star we call the sun, which is the driving force behind our circadian rhythm. So where does melatonin fit into our sleep? Well, beside adenosine, melatonin is another sleep chemical. It's produced in the pineal gland in the brain, and it is super sensitive to light. So bright light essentially lowers melatonin production, whilst darkness stimulates its release. Now, this in itself is enough reason not to have bright lights on in the evening and to not be looking at a bright phone screen before you go to bed. So once the sun has gone down, put on your table lamps, your candles, change your computer screen to night mode so that your pineal gland's production of melatonin is not affected. And if you tend to get up in the night to go to the bathroom, if possible, don't turn on any of the lights because it really does affect the quality of your sleep when you return to bed. Now, even though you have two sleep chemicals, adenosine and melatonin, that are going to massively contribute to a fabulous night's sleep, you also need to be responsible by not eating 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. And probably, not watching a horror movie that's going to have you checking under the bed and releasing more cortisol. And if you drink water before going to bed, preferably drink mineral water. Because of the minerals in the water, it's more likely that the water is going to be retained in the body than moving all the way through to the bladder and waking you up in the middle of the night. And of course, it's a good idea to maintain low light with lamps, night lights, up until you're ready to go to sleep so that melatonin can start to be released earlier. So tonight, when you lie down and go to sleep, don't think of it as checking out from life. Think of it as checking in with your body, your mind, your spirit. Sleep is not a waste of time. It's sacred time. It's your time to reset, your healing, your connection to something way greater. There's a quote by Napoleon Bonaparte. "Let her sleep, for when she wakes, she will move mountains." I will see you in the next video. Namaste.